What's up, guys? As always, I'm Jalen Russell, and today on the Appetizer, I'm covering the Detroit Pistons. They finished out 32-50 last year, which was 12th in the Eastern Conference, after making an early run to try to get into the playoffs and kind of falling off after Brandon Jennings got hurt. Now, they added a whole bunch of guys that are going to fill out their bench to give them a little bit more depth, like Reggie Bullock, Danny Granger, Marcus Morris, Aaron Baines, and Steve Blake. All those guys are veterans. They've been playing the league for a while now. They have a lot of potential coming off their bench just because these guys have played for a while. They know what they're doing. They're going to add a whole lot of strength to their bench, which was kind of a weak point last year. They also had an Ilyasova who's going to take over the power forward position after Greg Monroe left. He's more of a shooter, not really going to give you what Greg Monroe did last year, which was like 16 points and 10 rebounds per game. But he'll score. He'll have his nights where he goes off for 20+. He'll get you like 7 rebounds a night, so it's not a bad move. Their biggest move they made during the offseason that was a positive was adding Stanley Johnson to the draft. A lot of people thought that was a reach. He looked like a man among boys in the Orlando Summer League. Now, he's only 19 years old, so you have a whole lot of potential there, and he just showed that he can take, and he's not scared of anyone. He can take anyone to the basket, play defense. He's really tough, and just looked like he was going to be a guy that's going to be in the league for a long time starter, I think, and probably an all-star a couple times before he retires. The bad moves they made during the offseason, they let Greg Monroe walk. It doesn't make sense to me. You had a three-headed monster, Josh Smith, Greg Monroe, and Andre Drummond. You get rid of Josh Smith last year, which made sense. He just didn't really fit into the offense. Wasn't what you were looking for. You were looking for two guys to be down low, and he was kind of mucking up the middle when he was playing the three position, trying to run the three of them together. So you keep Greg Monroe and Andre Drummond through the year. You would think that means you're going to sign Greg Monroe to a long-term contract. And what did they do? They let him walk. I don't think, like I said, Ilyasova is not going to be able to fill his shoes. It'll be interesting to see what they do moving forward to try to fill his spot. I don't think Ilyasova is going to be the long-term solution there. I could see them trying to make a trade, which brings me to their next bad move, re-signing Reggie Jackson to a 5-year, $80 million deal. He was a restricted free agent. You could have just matched any offer that anyone offered him and re-signed him. But instead, you decided to give him this big $16 million deal, falling into the trap that a lot of teams are falling into, which is signing these guys to these long-term deals for a lot of money because the cap's going to go up soon. You're still overpaying. He's going to be either a backup or you're going to have some issues with Brandon Jennings and Reggie Jackson, two guys that like to dominate the ball, trying to play at the same time together. You know you made a big mistake when your two guys that are making the most money on your team play the exact same position. Doesn't make sense. Brandon Jennings is expected to be back by the beginning of the season. I don't know why they did this. It'll be interesting to see if they're trying to trade one of those guys or what they do moving forward. Now, all that said, in my opinion, I think Jennings is going to start over Jackson. KCP will be running the 2, Stanley Johnson at 3, Ilyasova at 4, and Drummond at 5. Now, that's a pretty good lineup coming into the game right away. Their backups are really good as well. They have a very deep bench, a really young roster as well. They probably only have 2 to 3 guys on their team that are over 30 by the time the regular season starts. All that said, I think these guys are going to end up being 40-42 this year, 10th in the Eastern Conference, which would have made the playoffs last year, but this year, not so much. The Eastern Conference got better, so 40-42, an improvement from last year, but not quite in the playoffs yet. That's all I have for you guys on the Pistons. Check out my story on Gilbert Arenas. He was saying some outlandish stuff about LeBron James on Instagram, and I had to put him in his place. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks a lot.